All right, I'm going live. All right, I'm live. All right, so the agenda for today. Today I am in Pocahontas, Arkansas. That's the name of the town, Pocahontas. And the other day I was in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Pretty cool towns. I don't know, not a lot to say about them. But today I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. First is Dave Matthews Band's cover. Now I saw this. You should be able to see this, right? Yeah, I saw this in a um, burger joint back in Camden, Tennessee. They had a poster of this. Dave Matthews Band. Remember, the name of the album is "Remember Two Things." What are the two things, right? But this was the album cover, and I remember seeing this before, and someone saying that you can see an image in it, and you can. I stared at it for like the whole album. I listened to the whole album, and like after like 20 minutes, I finally started to see the image, and it's a peace sign. Someone doing the peace sign, and you can actually see it. It takes a while. You gotta like, it's like you gotta. Hey, I'll do it one stream because I want to know what my eyes look like when I do this. But I'll tell you when I can actually see it. You have to like unfocus your eyes. It's like you relax your eyes, but you don't go like cross-eyed. You know what I mean? I'll tell you when I can see it. And it doesn't matter if you wear glasses or not. I tried both ways. It didn't matter. I'll let you know when I can see it. I'm starting to see it. Starting to see it more. Getting close. Still can't see it. Close. All right, closer. Sorry, this is boring. It takes a little while to like get the focus right. Okay, now I see it. Yeah, I definitely see it. So I wonder what my eyes look like on the stream, because this is when I can actually see it. I can see it perfectly now, and I'm kind of relaxed eyes, kind of focused. I don't know, it's weird. But as soon as I'm actually doing it because I can still see it. Behind the camera of this laptop is a mirror on the desk, above the desk. Now I can't see it again. And I wanted to lock into this so that my eyes were focused like this, and I could still see it right now. And then I would move my head up and look into the mirror to see if it was any different. And I haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm getting close. But I'm doing that because that Jonathan guy, Jonathan Adam Pants, he talks about, in the same video, he actually talks about Dave Matthews Band, but he doesn't talk about this picture at all. He talks about how there's like hidden negative objects and symbols, like etheric almost. And he says that the way to train it kind of is to stare at the mirror, but don't look at the reflection. Look at the metal of the mirror. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the type of focus that I kind of get from seeing this peace sign in this picture. So maybe Dave Matthews Band was trying to train people to look to like see the negative images inside of symbols. I don't know. Dave Matthews Band has some crazy lyrics though. I haven't figured out the back of it yet. Well, I've seen it on the back of the cover. It looks like a peace sign, but it's different. It's not the same peace sign, and it seems more like it's a a rabbit with two ears. That's what I don't know. That's what it seems like on the back part of it. But here's the lyrics. This is what it actually looks like. That's exactly what you see, but it's 3D. Like it goes inward into the screen. It's kind of like, yeah, like think like 3D glasses plus uh, like relaxed but focused eyes. I think it's kind of like you're relaxing your third eye, your first eye really. You're relaxing that, and that's how you can see it. That's what I think that might be a better analogy. You're relaxing your third eye, not your you're relaxing your eyes, but it's like I don't know, it's like a relaxed focus. But yeah, that's what it actually looks like. But it's 3D, it goes inward. The song Satellite by Dave Matthews Band. God, I have to find out. Alright. Satellite in my eyes. First lines, like a diamond in the sky. That concave Earth thing that I've shown like in a bunch of videos, last live streams. Diamond in the sky, right? Then he talks about satellites strung from the moon and the world your balloon. Satelloons. Satellites are balloons, basically. Then he says peeping Tom for the mother station, which is really, he's saying ground control to Major Tom. The mother station, ground control. Mother Earth, ground, Earth and ground, Mother Earth. And peeping Tom is Major Tom, ground control to Major Tom. Peeping Tom for the mother station. Winter's cold, spring races. And the calm away by the storm is chasing. It sounds like he says, and the cobweb by the storm is chasing. In the actual song, that's what it sounds like. But I guess he's saying this. And the calm away by the storm is chasing. What does that mean? That sounds like a vacuum type deal. And the calm away by the storm is chasing. Like it sounds like a vacuum thing. Like he's explaining a vacuum there, kind of. Everything good needs replacing. And like, that's kind of what's happening, right? In this realm. Look up, look down, all around. Hey, satellite. I was doing that because when I was staring at the picture, like it's almost like he was talking to me. Like look up, look down, look all around, all at once, kind of. Headlines read: someone's secrets you've seen. Eyes and ears have been. Satellite dish in my yard. Tell me more, tell me more. Who's the king of your satellite castle? I don't know. Their lyrics are wild. Very synchronistic. There's another line I wanted to talk about, but let me see if I find it. And satellite lines. Rest high above the clouds, no restrictions. Television. We bounce around the world, and while I spend these hours, 5 senses reeling, I laugh about this weatherman's satellite eyes. I think I know what he's talking about with that. The person on the TV is not real. I think I've seen this. They can perfectly. I think this is all kind of speculation, but I think it's real. They can perfectly CGI people on TV, and I think they can do it like identical, perfect. But for some reason, they seem to leave out the eyes. The eyes seem different when they do it. You can tell the eyes are different when they do it. And I think that's what he's laughing about. because you can see it's like they're trying to tell us. That's why he's laughing, because they wouldn't do that. They would just make the eyes perfect. Like they could. They can make the rest of the body perfect. They can make the eyes perfect, but they don't. They're like slightly off. They have like there's no twinkle in the eye, or like there's something off about the eyes. I've seen Trump when Trump one of his like speeches. It was after they bombed Syria for some stupid reason. But he had to go on live TV and give like an address, and I could tell it wasn't him. I could tell by his eyes. His eyes were way different. It didn't seem like a real human by the eyes. Like they were trying to tell. They've always been trying to tell us. Like you can't wake up. You can't forcibly wake people up, right? That's what they've been doing. They not forcibly, but they've been like they purposely leave a clue, and the clue is the satellite eyes. It's a good song too. Yeah, I think that was the last line. Yeah, definitely. It's a good song. Anyway, yeah, I was watching more him, and then I found one of the last streams. We were talking about. See if this is the second thing I wanted to talk about. I think so. Yeah, revisiting the Punxsutawney Groundhog Day and the organization behind it. And I remember watching this video. This guy is like one of the most popular YouTubers, Video Game Donkey, and he put out a video about this, like jokingly, like he's not like a conspiracy theorist dude, but he just put this out like joking around, and I kind of agree. Like, what the freak is going on with this? Like, so he relates it to Metal Gear Solid and the Patriots that run the whole world or whatever. But if you go to the Inner Circle, which is the name of the club for the Groundhog Club, established 1887. Now, where are they at? They should show the members. Oh shit, did I lose it? Sorry. Members reception. Is it? How the freak does this happen when I do the stream? I just had these people up. It was here. Oh my god, why can't the Inner Circle? Yeah, this is it. Alright, here's the Inner Circle. Punxsutawney Phil. Check out what they put in the description for these people. Check this out. Make sure the stream's still going. Alright. Punxsutawney Phil, weather predictor extraordinaire, seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators, weather predictor extraordinaire, national treasure, most photographed Pennsylvanian. Weather philosophy. Phil has been predicting weather for over 120 years. He's accurate 100% of the time. Only the president of the Inner Circle talks with Phil, and they usually keep their conversation on a simple topic. Favorite drink. This is kind of interesting. Need you ask? The elixir of life. It gets Phil 7 years of life. Forget what it tastes like. The end result is pretty amazing. What the fuck is that about? The elixir of life they're talking about? I mean, they could just be joking, but like they probably think they're joking. But I think like another message is like going on inside their joke. I don't know. On February 3rd, I'll be busy getting rest. It takes a lot of energy greeting the Facebook, blah, blah, blah. If you want to inside scoop on the Inner Circle, Phil considers them like family. They do a good job of fielding questions and making sure I am protected and cherished. I guess you could say they're a heck of a posse. Okay, posse. It kind of reminds me of the syndicate that I've heard about in John Keely's, like books about John Keely. To really experience Groundhog Day, you have to believe. See that? Believe. After all, meteorologists are correct about 70% of the time. Phil is always right. To quote George Michael, you gotta have faith. Groundhog Day is growing every year because it has heart and soul. Come meet strangers, sing, shiver, and drink caffeine. It's the best all-night party in Pennsylvania. To truly experience Groundhog Day, you have to believe. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a freaking magic spell. It's a magic belief, like etheric belief spell. This guy has an interesting bio too. Uh, Phil says, any day above ground. Okay, he had something interesting. Ride up, walk back. This guy seems like, I mean, I don't think any of these guys are like doing some nefarious thing. I think it's just tongue in cheek. But I think there's like a carrier message that is like traversing time and space in their little jokes. And I don't think any of that's why they get drunk on Groundhog Day. That's why the whole town just gets hammered. And same with the Mummers Day parade in Philadelphia. Everyone just gets hammered because no one knows why they're freaking doing this. No one actually knows why they're doing any of this. That's what I think. I thought he had something interesting. He says, I guess he didn't. It was maybe I think it was this guy actually. Yeah, this Butch Philibert. His nickname, his role is Iceman. I think this is the guy that made the ice statue in the actual movie that Bill Murray makes. This is the guy that actually did it, and apparently he's like one of the most interesting. Like I don't know, I read some article about people that visited Punxsutawney. They found this guy, and they said he's one of the most interesting dudes they ever talked to. And he had all these. He does chainsaw art, and he's the one who taught Bill Murray how to like do it somewhat. But look at his weather philosophy. Check this out. Butch Philibert's weather philosophy: the application of science and technology to predict the state of the atmosphere is about as believable as the government telling you they are here to help you. When you hear Punxsutawney Phil's prognostication on February 2nd, be a believer. He has the ability and the attributes to take a complex meteorological phenomena to the general public in a way that is that sounds like understandable, but that's not what it's actually spelled there. Understandable. That might be a word. I gotta check. Entertaining and descriptive. No, go back. I don't know. Whatever. I'll keep going now. What I like to do, if I wasn't working on Groundhog, what would I like to do? What I like to do every Groundhog Day, I would be on Gobbler's Knob, walking around town, talking to and enjoying visitors to our community. On February 3rd, I'll be busy trying to make a living. At the information center at Gobbler's Knob, stop in and say hello. If you want to get the inside scoop on the inner circle, you need to get at life. Now, I don't know. There's like a message going on there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing too much into this. Turn towards Walmart off Route 19. Yeah, okay. Little dark red house under the trees waiting to help make your Groundhog Day experience enjoyable. To really enjoy it, you have to attend the banquet, try to get some sleep, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's one more dude that said something interesting. But look at their jobs, by the way. Fair weatherman, shingle shaker, Moonshine, Sky Painter, Rainmaker, Iceman, Chief Healthman, Thunder Conductor, Big Chill, Ozone. Like I don't know what the freak is going on with this thing. I think the original people knew what they were doing. They made it as a spell, and I think this guy's the only one that actually realizes what it is because he says it right here. He says he has the ability and the attributes to take complex meteorological phenomena to the general public in a way that is understandable, entertaining, and descriptive. So when they say meteorological, isn't that a star thing? If you think about it, a meteor is like in space, or like what they call space. That's like astrological thing, meteorology, and really February 2nd is an important astrological uh, like date, the time between spring equinox and winter solstice, and it's always February 1st or February 2nd. So he's like, it feels like he's trying to tell, like tongue in cheek, what it actually does. I don't know, but he's the only one that seemed to actually know what the hell's going on with this. The rest of them just seem like they're just people that work in the town. This guy, I think, might have had something weird. Uh, nah. Head huntsman, storm builder, frostbite, downpour. Then they gave her. She doesn't get the. She doesn't get to wear the top hat, and they just call her executive director. She doesn't get the cool name either. That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, I got more into this. It's the Groundhog Club. Now, could you give me a better reason why this even happens? Well, I think in the beginning, the town was like the Indians. There is a reason to look for a groundhog in February. It works with a bear too. Any animal that hibernates, because if the animal comes out in February, that means spring's coming soon. That's really what it's like. There's truth to it. It's not nothing to do with seeing your shadow though. It's nothing to do with that. It's like common sense almost. Like if you see a groundhog come out and you see it out of its hole, or whatever, in February, that means winter's over. Spring's coming soon. But if you don't see like groundhog, then winter's not over. Like they know, they just know. The animals know. They're like tools, not tools, but like they. We're supposed to like read it, and they're like connected to the creator, and that's how they know when to come out. It's not something that could be like really explained. They just know that winter is either going to stick around or not. Spring is going to come, and the Indians understood this, I think, and that's why everyone does this. But then they turned it into like this whole thing. I don't know. It's like part of the spell that it actually has some truth to it. And I think the reason they did the spell was because of this sorcerer named Punxsutawney. I don't know if it was actually his name, but here we go. It's based on the Delaware Indians, who were the first inhabitants of the area, apparently. The legend and more. It was originally a campsite halfway between the Allegheny and the Susquehanna rivers. What is like that Susquehanna Allegheny guy always talking about? Saying Susquehanna is like one of the most like synchronistic magical rivers in the whole United States, and he talks about the Allegheny sometimes too. And it's right in the middle of them. And just like February 2nd, is right in the middle of the spring equinox and winter solstice, right in the middle. That's where Punxsutawney is. Punxsutawney Phil, which I have personal connection to. Because my dad's name's Phil, and my name means spring equinox, and I was born on February 1st. According to the original creation story of the Delaware Indians, the Lenape, who are they're from like a New Jersey area too, where I live in South Jersey. They say the Delaware Indians were really the Lenape, or the Lenape. That's what some people call it. Began as light as animals in Mother Earth and emerged centuries later to hunt and live as men. Thus it was that Ojik or Wojak, which was carried over to us as woodchuck, came to be recognized as the grandfather of the earliest known inhabitants of this area. My godfather was named Chuck. I was born on a Wednesday. Wednesday's named after Woden, Wojak, Odin, Wojak, Wajak. My godfather was literally he's Uncle Chuck. There's something else about this article that was interesting. Yeah, the white people kicked them all out. Here we go. They say this Indian sorcerer was actually killed by another Indian. It was during this period that an Indian sorcerer first appeared in various forms and attacked travelers from the east. He was hunted and killed in combat by a young chief. His body was burned to destroy the evil medicine, but miraculously turned to searing sandflies, or ponksad, which plagued the area and the Indians. From that time, the Indians called the location Ponxsutawney, which meant the town of the sandflies. The sandflies are now gone, but the ghost of the spelling is with us to stay. That's a weird way to say that. Like the ghost of the spelling. Like there was some kind of maybe he cast a spell, this sorcerer, and it was to like I don't know lock people in a time loop, like the movie Groundhog Day. Every day is the same, blah blah blah, until you figure out how this realm works. Until Bill Murray figures out how to actually help people. I don't know. Or it could be that the whole groundhog thing that was invented by someone to counter this sorcerer's spell. Could have been that. I don't know. It definitely has some kind of spell to it. Same with the Mummers Breed in Philadelphia. And I talked about that stickman guy in my town, who's like a local legend. Well, someone told him that there was a burial mounds underneath his house, and the Indians that lived in my South Jersey were the Lenape, right here, the Shawnee, the Seneca, and the Cherokee. And there's names of like 4 high schools right near. I used to play in sports. Weird. And then I wanted to go into. Oh yeah, this is where she says that one dude Butch was super interesting. Where did it put it? Oh yeah, the name of no, it's not Butch. It's some other guy, Randy. He's not even in that. Our next stop was the Wizard's Workshop. The Wizard's Workshop. And it turned out to be a must-see. The proprietor, Randy the Wizard Rupert, is an ice sculpting champion and now uses the same chainsaw technique on various sized parts of trees. Wait a second. With our usual snarky attitude, we entered past the sign that read, "What would you like for Christmas?" And come see what I saw, expecting a hoot, but instead walked into a true master's den. Oh, the joys we found there. Randy, the only true link we found to the movie in the entire town was the guy who taught Bill Murray how to pretend ice sculpt. The angelic ice carving in the movie is his. He's the guy that made that carve. Ditto the electric chainsaw Bill used for the movie. The saw is prominently displayed in the store along with a VCR tape and a poster of Celebrate. Look. Yeah, the guy's an artist. And he seems like I should go check that guy out. And then they get kind of dirty with it, but I think they don't understand what's happening. Off the beaten path was a slightly disturbing groundhog, and we did quite a bit of blinking as we stood next to it, trying to chase out the image that was forming in our heads. It's because you're perverts. But the name of it is Fill Your Dreams with Butterfly Wings. Outside the hospital is meant to represent new life emerging from a cocoon, but from most angles, yeah, okay. New life emerging from a cocoon. That's what Groundhog Day is about. Maybe that's what this spell is about. And Gobbler's Knob is such a weird name. There's something to that too, I think. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Oh yeah, and then the website for the Inner Circle dudes, they say that the first time it was mentioned in a newspaper was 1887. No, 1897. And here it's mentioned in 1895 on the Library of Congress newspaper. I also found something crazy when I was doing this. Yeah, but this tells you why they even did it. This is the truth to it. Delaware Township, Delaware Indians, bears and groundhogs, because they hibernate. So when they come out, they know when to come out. So if they come out in February, that means winter's over. Spring's coming soon. But if they don't come out, you don't see them anywhere, then winter's not over yet. They just know. It's like a clue, kind of. Like the Indians used to do it. And I think bees do this too. I remember it was like fall. It was in fall, and the people were saying, "Oh, we're gonna have the worst winter ever," because it just like I don't know, people were just thinking that because of like all the politics and everything going on, and people were saying that winter's gonna be the worst ever, blah blah blah. And I'm scrolling through a TikTok one day, and I come to this beekeeper, and he's like, "I know everyone's saying the winter's gonna be bad, but listen, it's gonna be warm as hell." The bees told me. He said that the queen bee, they will kill their own queen or something like that if they think, or they'll do something specific because they know that the winter's going to be like harsh, and they don't do it if it's not going to be harsh. Like they hibernate early or something like that. Like then the beekeeper figured that out. He's like, no, winter's going to be a breeze. It's going to be warm. And it didn't snow once in New Jersey past winter. So the bees were right. It's because the bees don't have brains. Like they're just connected to the creator. That's how they get around. They're just listening to the creator. And I've heard some crazy stuff about honey. Like if you get raw honey, usually they put a certain flower near the beehive so that it tastes a certain way. When you get the honey, you can taste the difference. But that's not how it would naturally work. Naturally, bees would have a whole like wide range of herbs, herbs and spices, herbs, like plants, weeds, all kinds of stuff, and they would take from each of them and put it into the honey. And then if you ate that honey, you would basically be healing everything in your whole body. Any disease, doesn't matter what it is. Because all medicine comes from plants and herbs, right? So if the bees were allowed to like naturally pick out what they want, like in a forest or something, then that honey, it might not taste as good, but I bet you it'll be way more like nutritional and beneficial to your health. I thought that was interesting. Let's see. What else did I want to go into? Oh yeah. Something about the Fraternal Order of the Eagle is on this website. I forget where it was actually, but check real quick. His official prognostication was that there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. Well, that was wrong, actually. Right? It's been relatively warm in the past couple months. Very spring-like, at least in my neck of the woods. Anyway, so somewhere in this, they mention. I keep hearing about this fraternal order. Oh yeah, here. Is it here? Shit. Rosebud Mining Company. Check that out. I don't know. The Fraternal Order of the Eagle. I don't know. I forget if it was Eric Peterson or Old World Florida, but they mentioned this group. And I've been seeing. I saw something today, and when I was started driving here, saw like something eagle, and it was like something clicked in my head like you should notice this. I don't know, and I keep hearing about these guys, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, and at the end of one of the last streams, we were talking about all these weird clubs and no one really knows what they actually do, like the Knights of Columbus or Lions Club or the Kiwanis, or everyone talks about the Freemasons, but what are all those? What are all those other clubs? Or the Fraternal Order of Eagles? And somehow that was connected to Punxsutawney. Anyway, my nickname was one of my first nicknames ever was P. Eagle, because it was like a Medal of Honor or something. We had to pick a name. Noteworthy members: President, Tony Stewart. There's something else I'm going to get into. I think this is the last thing, actually. Lions Club International. They're all NGOs, by the way. So, I mentioned this before, but the UN doesn't really control the world. I mean, it's obvious that the puppets, right? And everyone says that their map, their flat Earth map, is the UN map, which it looks like it. But then, who actually controls the world? Non-governmental organizations do. Lions Club is an NGO. Knights of Columbus is an NGO. These dudes are an NGO. Let me see. NGOs control, and look at their map. It's much different, but it has a diamond in the sky, like the song "Satellite." Where I put that? I didn't get the Knights of Columbus. I'm actually a member of these people, so I was looking for like the Hunter Association type deal. So Columbus, and I'm about to wrap this up. Is a global Catholic fraternal service order limited to practicing Catholic men. It's led by Patrick E. Kelly, the order's 14th Supreme Knight. They all got to do like these night ceremonies and shit. Same with the Masons. Like, what is that? It's a spell. That's what I think. I think it's all magic spells, magic belief spells. Like, what does that Punxsutawney Phil say on his bio? What should people do about it? Believe. That was like the first word he says. Believe, because that's what it is. It's a belief spell. And I think the Groundhog Day one is a time loop spell to keep people like under their, like the routine of everyday spell kind of. Lions Club, I don't know exactly what they are, but yeah, I think I'm probably gonna end it here. Not no one in the chat, except for my man Rock Samaj, James Corey, backwards. It's supposed James